Gigantamax Snorlax might not be the best Pokemon, but this event is still so worth playing because the resources and all the gains you can get from this event are unlike any other. Let's talk about why. So December 14th, 2 to 5 p.m., the day before Pokédaxi's birthday actually, is Gigantamax Snorlax Max Battle Day. This is a repeat event. We've had this event before, but it's still worth playing. Let me explain why. The event bonuses during the event, all power spots will be spawning a GMAX Snorlax battle. These max battles will refresh every 30 minutes, so you'll get 6 max battles at 1 power spot in the whole event. You'll be able to collect up to 1600 max particles during the event. You'll get 800 max particles per power spot, and you'll get 2 additional special trades during the event. So 4 special trades during this event. That's huge. We'll also have extended bonuses from 12 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the 14th, in which you will get 2 times max particles from exploring, so 600 max particles from walking, and you will only need to walk 500 meters to get those 600 max particles, so quarter distance for receiving max particles. The remote raid pass will also be getting increased. December 13th, 5 p.m. to December 14th, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you'll be able to do 20 remote raids. So 2 days of 20 remote raid pass limit. There'll also be a timed research that will start on Monday. You probably already have it, where you'll get a free timed research that will get you a Dynamax Machop encounter, candy, and max particles, most likely up to 1500. Now, a top tip is to not claim the max particles from the timed research. Save them in the research until you've gone ahead and collected the max amount of particles during GMAX Snorlax Day. This will allow you to do extra, potentially 2 GMAX Snorlax battles instead of just wasting them. There's also going to be a ticket for this event, $5 USD. You can buy it in the game or through the web store. If you buy it through the web store, you do get 800 free max particles included. So buy it through the web shop, that's a free max battle. This ticket will get you a timed research that will get you a max mushroom, 25,000 XP, and more. But it will also give you the bonuses of 2 times XP from max battles, so 50,000 XP base per max battle completed, as well as you can collect up to 5,600 max particles. Now, why is this event so worth playing? Well, it's because of the resource grinding. GMAX battles have well been known in Pokemon Go as the best way to level up and collect Stardust. First of all, if you complete a max battle in person, you do get an additional 25,000 XP, and you get 12 Premier Balls instead of 10. So do your max battles in person if you can. But if you do complete a max battle, whether in person or not, you will get normally 25,000 XP and 25,000 Stardust. You then have the option to go ahead and use a Star Piece and a Lucky Egg to increase this amount. With a Star Piece and a Lucky Egg active, you will be getting 50,000 XP and around 37,000 Stardust from completing 1 GMAX Snorlax battle. You then have the option to go ahead and pay 200 Pokecoins to double these rewards. So you can be getting up to 100,000 XP and 75,000 Stardust from 1 GMAX battle. Then finally, if you've gone ahead and bought the Max Battle Day event ticket with the bonus of 2 times XP, you could be getting a total of 205,000 XP for an in-person GMAX battle and 75,000 Stardust per GMAX Snorlax you complete. This is a huge amount of rewards. Now, of course, to go ahead and get this amount of resources as a free or paid to play player, you need Star Pieces and Lucky Eggs. And the best way to use these items is through the Party Play feature. If you party up with 4 people in your party and you share items through the Party Play tab, you can double the value of your items. If you use a Lucky Egg on yourself, you'll get 30 minutes of Lucky Egg, but if you share it with friends, everyone in that party will get 15 minutes. That's a total of 1 hour from 1 Lucky Egg. So if you and 4 friends all share 3 Star Pieces and 3 Lucky Eggs, you will have Lucky Egg and Star Piece for 3 hours, which will last you the whole event. If you use 3 Lucky Eggs and Star Pieces on yourself, you'd only get an hour and a half. So share them with your friends. That's the best way to use those items. And there's no better way to grind resources in Pokemon Go than these events. So I have a couple tips on how to maximize this event even more, but first let's talk about how to take on GMAX Snorlax. Well, Snorlax is a pure normal type Pokemon, making it only weak to fighting. If you see an 1843 CP during the event, that is a guaranteed 100% IV GMAX Snorlax. GMAX Snorlax's attacks could be Body Slam, Skull Bash, Hyper Beam, Heavy Slam, Outrage, Earthquake, and Superpower. There's 2 types of moves a GMAX Pokemon can have. It's Large Attack and it's Targeted Attack. The Large Attack is a spread move that will hit everyone and you cannot dodge, and the Targeted Attack will focus on 1 Pokemon in the battle at a time. You will know you're targeted if you have those Spidey senses appear above your head. You can go ahead and dodge it, and depending on when you dodge, you'll go ahead and reduce the damage that this move hits you for. If the GMAX Snorlax does have Earthquake and and Superpower as its large attack, I would consider potentially re-lobbying, as these are going to be hard-hitting moves, making it very, very tough. But if you have a big enough lobby, it shouldn't be too bad, but just worry about those moves. But let's talk about how to take it down. When against a GMAX Pokemon or a Dynamax Pokemon or whatever, there's a top strategy the community has found. It involves having 2 tank/healer Pokemon in your first 2 slots in your party, and in the back, you have an attacking Pokemon. Your tank Pokemon will fill your max meter, and once you Dynamax or Gigantamax, switch into your attacker, use your 3 max moves, switch back, repeat. What are the best attackers to use against GMAX Snorlax? Well, the number 1 is going to be Gigantamax Machamp with the GMAX move Max Chi Strike. You then have Dynamax Urshifu with Max Knuckle. Make sure that your Urshifu knows Counter or Rock Smash to get that max move. Then Dynamax Gallade with Max Knuckle. Give your Gallade Low Kick fast move to give it that move. You then have Dynamax Machamp with Max Knuckle. Give your GMAX Machamp Karate Chop or Counter to give it that move. You then have Dynamax Hitmonchan with Max Knuckle. Give your Hitmonchan Counter to give it that move. As far as the best tank/healer Pokemon in order, you're going to have Dynamax Blissey with the fast move Pound, Dynamax Corviknight with the fast move Sand Attack, Crown Shield Zamazenta with the fast move Metal Claw, Crown Sword Zacian with the fast move Metal Claw, Dynamax Metagross with the fast move Fury Cutter. Remember, the fast move on your tank Pokemon is very important because this will lead to how fast your max meter will fill. You want one of those 0.5 second fast moves. The overall best team is going to be 2 Blisseys and 1 GMAX Machamp in the back. And do note, any of the Pokemon you invest into for this GMAX battle, you can use as well against GMAX Meowth, which will be coming later this season as seen in the trailer. Now remember, if your Pokemon do die in a Dynamax battle, remember to go ahead and cheer. Cheering will fill the max meter quicker, so even if you're dead, the battle's not over, you can help out your fellow trainers. Also collect the max orbs by swiping right or left. Go ahead and collect them when they appear near you. Now you have up to 6 minutes to defeat a GMAX boss before it becomes enraged. When it's enraged, it will start one-shotting your Pokemon and get a huge damage boost, so try to take it on and defeat it before 6 minutes. If you're a smaller group, if you're in a rural area, here's a couple tips you can do to make it easier to take on these max battles. The first one, max mushrooms will double all the damage you do in a max battle, and they will last for 30 minutes. I believe you do get like a 5-minute trial if you've never used one. If you're in a big group, don't use the max mushroom, but if you're in a rural, smaller group, you can consider using max mushrooms if you don't have the greatest counters. You also do get friendship boost, so remember to do max battles with your friends. It'll make it easier and you'll be doing more damage against the GMAX boss. Finally, consider using the adventure effects from Zacian or Zamazenta in the crown forms. Zacian and Zamazenta's adventure effect will give you a 5% attack or defense boost respectively in max battles, which can help you take them on, or you can consider using Eternatus's adventure effect Dynamax Cannon, which will level up your max moves by 1 level. So if you have a level 3 Dynamax move, it'll go to level 4. Quickly, I'm sure people are wondering, is GMAX Machamp actually worth taking and getting? Well, with Lick, Snorlax is a decent tank Pokemon for that tank heal role, but it's just not as good as things like Blissey or Crowned Zamazenta. So overall, again, we're taking on this event for the resources. So the question is, how do we get the most resources from this event? Well, it's all going to be about maximizing your max particles. As a free-to-play player, you only get a certain amount of max particles, so storing them is very important. The first tip, as I mentioned before, is don't collect any of the max particles from your timed research. Save them until the event. You then on Saturday want to stockpile as many max particles as you can and bring them into the Sunday. You can do this by collecting as close to the 1500 max particle storage limit in Pokemon Go as you can. So for example, collect up to 1400 max particles in your storage. Then walk 2 kilometers, collect your 300 max particles, and you can get up to 1700 max particles to bring into the Sunday. When Sunday happens, you want to go ahead and do 2 GMAX battles. This will bring your 1700 max particles down to 100 max particles. You then on that day can of course collect up to 1600 max particles. So the same strategy follows. I would most likely go ahead and collect 600 max particles from walking, and then you can collect 800 max particles from power spots. This will give you 1400 max particles. You can then go to another power spot and you can get up to 2200 max particles. Those 2200 max particles can then be used to go ahead and do 2 more GMAX Snorlax battles. At that point, you will have a leftover of 700 max particles. You can then go ahead and maybe collect some max particles you might have saved from your Go Pass and use them to do an extra GMAX Snorlax battle. But on top of that, you can go ahead and collect the max particles you've gotten from the timed research. This should give you an extra 1 or 2 GMAX Snorlax battles. Finally, if you attend a community ambassador meetup and you check into those meetups, you can get a timed research that will get you 800 free max particles. Overall, you can do up to 6 to 7 free GMAX Snorlax battles as a free-to-play player if you collect your max particles correctly. correctly. I'll recap: save your max particles from Saturday, bring them to Sunday, then collect the most amount of max particles you can on the Sunday, collect the ones from the timed research, collect the ones from the community ambassador meetup, and feast. On a lucky egg, you can collect up to 50,000 XP from those GMAX battles, and more than 200,000 Stardust if you use a star piece when taking on all those GMAX battles. Now, when you are taking on Snorlax, it is a rare Pokemon. It's good to have candies for in case it gets buffed. So remember to use pineapple berries or silver pineapple berries when catching your GMAX Snorlaxes to double your candy. We will also actively have the bonus of 2 times catch candy, so you'll technically be getting times 4 Snorlax candy. Snorlax is a normal type Pokemon as well, so Mega Evolve either a Mega Pidgeot, Kangaskhan, Lopunny, or Audino during the event to get more candies when catching Snorlaxes. Also, every time you defeat a GMAX Snorlax, consider dropping a Dynamax or GMAX Pokemon at the power spot to grind candies for them. You can get up to 5 candies for a Pokemon if you drop them at a power spot. I would drop in things like rare GMAX Pokemon, Dynamax legendaries, or specifically Cubfu is a great one to drop into to grind candies for. Also, go into your advanced settings, download all assets before the event starts, and turn on native refresh rate. This will make for a much smoother gameplay experience during the event. Now let's talk about lucky trades, because this event does come with the bonus of 2 extra special trades for a total of 4 during the event window. This is amazing because if you end up catching any GMAX Snorlaxes, not a good one, you can consider trading them as they are special trades with a friend and potentially they could randomly go lucky. These lucky Pokemon could end up as hundos. If you don't want to do that, you could consider going ahead and trading random shiny Pokemon that were caught during community days and potentially randomly become shundos. And this event is amazing if you're working on level 77 tasks of win 100 max battles. Final thing I will repeat is to attend a community ambassador meetup during the event, because if you check in at these meetups, you'll get a free timed research that will get you 5,000 XP, 5 great balls, 2,000 stars, and 800 max particles. Also, if you're in a party checked in at these meetups, you do get 25% less egg incubator distance. Watch these other videos on screen if you enjoyed this one. You will learn something from those as well. Good luck during this resource grinding event, and follow for tips. Peace.